I mean, it just made so much sense, right? Because I was like, okay, whatever I'm doing, whatever effort I'm putting is actually paying off. And like, oh, life's getting better and better and better and better. My dad is the reason why I have this entrepreneurial gene in me. Like, am I not allowed to be sad? Like,
Hello and welcome to the Social Kandura podcast. My name is Gaurav and today we have someone who's been on a very exciting fitness journey. Not only has she transformed herself to being more fit, more mentally aware and a better overall person, but she's one of the most influencers who are very true to themselves. They don't have a filter on Instagram and they present to you the real self of who they are. Today in this episode, let's find out the real story behind Nikita Phulwani, also known as Niki. Welcome to the show. Welcome, Niki, to the show. It's an absolute pleasure having you and seeing you over here. How has things? How have you been? How is life?
great.
All good?
Amazing.
Very good.
Couldn't get better. What about you?
Same.
That's good.
Same
That's
thing,
amazing.
yeah.
That's how it should be, no?
Yeah. We love the content that you put out. So real, so nice, so authentic, so organic. Do you sort of think that Instagram is one of those places that rewards people that are doing things a certain way? Or are you one of those people that are just like, I'm just going to put my content out there. I'm going to be real and I want to show my real self to Instagram, which is...
So, I don't know what reward is according to you, right? I mean, for some people it might be, your followers increasing or you getting X number of paid deals or whatever it is. Because if that was how I was thinking about reward, then I don't know, I would probably be doing something else.
Correct, yeah.
Because I don't have the highest number of followers and I don't measure my page on the basis of the paid deals I have. And the other thing is that if I am not real, I'm one of those people where I lie, you'll be able to see it on my face. Right?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Plus, I think I started my page in 2016, which is when I made it public, and it's been 7 years. And honestly, I don't know any other way than to be real. And this is the way that I have built a connection that I have with no matter how many followers I have.
Right.
Like, I have some people I speak to more often than maybe some of my friends on a day-to-day basis.
Exactly.
And yeah, so I'm that person who has always done what makes her heart happy and put out things that I truly think will, help someone else or bring a smile to someone's face or just, turn up someone else's mood or things that I wanted to share, So that's always been my approach, at least with my page, and that's how I like it.
Amazing. That's very good. You're very motivated in life, which is what we see. What's the success behind it, or what's
I'm going to give you a very textbook answer. I'm not motivated. I'm disciplined.
Oh, wow. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Discipline plays a very important role as well.
Yeah. So if you met me like 6 years ago, I would be like, you're disciplined. So LS, like I'll make fun of you,
Yeah.
But I think as you grow older, or I don't know, I'm so glad that I feel this way because I just think that, to be honest with you, in my role as an entrepreneur, as a team leader, as somebody with a little bit of following, as a daughter, as a sister, as a human being, I have a couple of responsibilities in my life.
Correct.
And also the most important responsibility is to myself, right?
That's
where I just feel like I've done a couple of things and I need to keep up with them. And if I lack my discipline, then I won't be able to show up for myself in the way I want to.
Right.
So I can't say I'm motivated, all the time, but I feel like I have reached a certain point in my life where I don't rely on motivation as much.
So it's more of self-discipline.
Yeah, I just know what I need to do and it needs to be done. Like there are no questions asked. It's like...
And that just lays the foundation for everything that
has, laid the foundation, that has been laying the foundation and making it stronger and stronger and stronger. So, yeah.
That's very amazing. It's a very different school of thought and that makes so much sense because you can lose motivation and you can just lie flat.
Can.
But if you're disciplined...
Exactly. You're a team leader. You're a business owner. Tomorrow, if you don't feel like it and you don't show up, is that fair to your team?
Of course not.
Of course not, right?
Yeah, so you have to keep that up.
Yes, there might be some days you're not motivated. Okay, maybe you'll work from home, but you can't shut shop. Like you can't,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like for whatever reason, for whatever roles, there are certain responsibilities that I feel I have, which I need to show up for, whether I'm motivated or not. So
100%.
I won't say that I'd say I'm more disciplined than I am motivated.
Very interesting. Even from a personal journey, you've been through a lot, and you've really, that discipline has really paid off. What was that one moment in life, where you were like, okay, enough, I can't live my life like this, now is when I may? Or was it like a gradual understanding of?
It was definitely a gradual understanding, because I was pretty happy the way I was, and obviously this is when we're referring to me being a bigger human being, or bigger size, or whatever it is. My life was good. Like, a lot of other women, because I get a lot of messages from women who are plus,
right,
telling me, Nikki, how are you so confident? How are you still able to wear whatever you have to? You were dancing, you were showing yourself off, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And a lot of women actually hide their true potential because of their size. This doesn't necessarily have to be plus. It could be like, as women, I think we are very harsh on ourselves,
yes,
when it comes to beauty standards, and that might be for a lot of different reasons. Correct. So there was no real turning point in my life, to be honest with you. Very, very gradual. I mean, it just made so much sense, right? Because I was like, okay, whatever I'm doing, whatever effort I'm putting is actually paying off, and like, life's getting better and better and better and better. And then it's a matter of common sense, right? Why would I continue doing something which is not impacting me in a way better than like something else is? You get what I'm saying? So it was very gradual, it was very logical, and it just made sense, and it just became a part of my life.
It's amazing. I think gradual changes go longer as opposed to like a very stark change as well.
Absolutely.
And from on a work front as well, you've been doing some really amazing work. You've been working with some very big brands. When the first brand deal that came through, was that like a euphoric moment for you? Like, yeah, or was it just like
a euphoric moment?
Like.
To be honest with you, no. I mean, I'm very grateful for the good work that me and my team get and we're able to do. It allows us to be, our most creative selves. I'm really, really grateful to all the brands that show their trust in us. But, I'm such a kid in a candy land when it comes to work. Work is my biggest passion. I absolutely love what I do. I know you're from the same industry, so you know what I mean.
Yes.
And, and like as human beings, or like as people, like I personally, for example, I have the biggest love for Bollywood. Right?
Oh, amazing.
And I'm hardcore Indian. I love my Bollywood and stuff like that. And I still remember a friend of mine, a very dear friend of mine, he runs multiple businesses here, and he called me and he's like, Nikki, I think I'm going to need your support on doing something for Masaba. I'm like, are you talking like Masaba Gupta? Like, okay, one of the leading, Indian fashion designers who's dressed probably half of Bollywood, and I don't know how many more like international celebrities. Like, you need me, whatever you want.
I'm going to be there.
I'm going to be there. So my point is that, and like, when the first fitness brand approached us, oh my God, I think I was like, guys, like, that's it. Like that's
done,
it.
Job
that's
done,
it. That's it. I'm going to work on this 24 hours. You'll have the proposal. Like, I go crazy. So I feel like, these euphoric moments keep happening. And I think I celebrate each success. I celebrate. And the thing is, for me, whether we close the pitch or not, the fact that that particular brand considered us, or we had the opportunity, like,
it's a very big achievement.
Yeah. Like, I thrive on that only.
But that's a very positive and a very good way to even look at that as well. And PR is such a thing that you have to be very focused on what you're doing, and it's very strategically done. It's not something that you just wake up one day and be like, I'm going to get into PR, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that as well. What are some of the challenges that you face on running a business, and from a personal perspective point of view, where you're like, I'm not able to do this, how can I find a way to do that? And does that challenge you in some way, and you're like,
so I think no matter what business you're running in, right? Running like whatever industry it may be, I think the biggest challenge and opportunity is people, dealing with people. This could be your team, this could be your clients, this could be your vendors. And I think with each difficult or nice person, I've just learned better and better and better. So I'd say that is probably, sometimes, because you can't, I'm not a psychologist, I can't figure out.
You can't
what
figure
it.
Yeah, exactly.
And like there are so many things, emotions, egos, etc. God only knows what all comes in. But I think that is perhaps, the biggest, I'd say, challenge of maybe running a business.
Right.
But also, like I said, it's also an opportunity. It's also a learning, because I've had some phenomenal people, teach me some incredible lessons,
Wow, okay.
through the journey, and not just my team, my clients, my vendors, all of it. And I think, you just need to be open and aware that, okay, if something good happens, then you take the best of it. And if something bad happens, you understand why it happened, what it teaches you, and then you
move on from that. Yeah,
you move on, exactly.
You are pretty famous. We considered, pretty famous. You say you're being humble. I don't have to, but you are very well known, in Dubai. And
If you say
everybody-
so.
Very humble, yeah. When was the first time that, someone saw you and be like, stop, I need to talk to you, you motivate me so much. When was that first time that happened, and how did that made you feel that I'm doing something in the right direction? I'm able to, bring a smile on people's face. When was that first
So
time?
I don't remember the first time it happened.
Okay.
I honestly don't, because even when I was bigger, I was still like talking about plus size content.
Correct.
And I may have been stopped, like, hey Nikki, oh my god,
know you,
Nikki,
hi,
oh yeah. Or like I'll get a message, oh my god, I saw you somewhere, and like, I wanted to say hi, but I couldn't. But I think for me, what is the cutest thing, and I love you guys whenever you do this, so when my mom or my chachu,
Yeah.
or like my, or like people in my life who, I share on my social, they get stopped, and like, instead of like, chachu is basically a way to say uncle, right?
Right, yeah.
In my community. So instead of like going like uncle, people just call him chachu, because,
because that's how they know you from, yeah.
that is one part of how sweet, and, that's just how real I keep it. And how, I don't know, my following is involved with me, which is amazing, right? Because it just brings the biggest smile on my family's face. It makes me very happy when I hear about these stories. But going back to your point on like, when was the first time someone told you, oh my god, Nikki, look, you motivated me, or whatever it is. So again, I don't remember the first time, but I think people were messaging me even back then when I was bigger, and telling me, thank you so much for showing us, how you wear
Sharing the
certain
real
clothes,
you,
how you wear certain clothes, and you accept your body, or whatever it is. But I think the happiness and the joy that I would get with each message, or each person that would pull up to me, or like come up to me and say, Nikki, I'm joining the gym because of you, or I'm on my own fitness journey because of you, or like women, young girls, older women would send me their before and afters.
Wow.
That feeling is, I can't even describe it, because if I'm able to impact anyone's life in one, because for me, health has played a massive role. It's just changed my complete perspective, my mindset, the way I show up to work, the way I show up for myself, the way I show up to my family. I will, like, health is my number one priority, right? Because it's my foundation to everything else in my life.
Yeah.
So I know the impact that it has on me. And I've been a big girl all my life, but it took me at the age of 28 is when I, worked on it. So for me, if a younger girl who's at 16, who's a 16-year-old Nikki, who is way heavier than all her classmates, and if this Nikki is able to impact someone who's at 16, like,
it's
I think
that's
big accomplishment. Like, there's no comparison to that feeling. So for me, some people are like, oh my god, like, can't she work out without posting her stories? Like, oh, like, what is it? Like, because
They're always going to be haters.
Yeah, I mean, that's not the point. But my point is, like, I love posting my workout.
Of course,
and like, for me, even if it encourages one person that day to be like, okay, I'm gonna get out of bed, I'm like, just go to my cardio, I'll keep posting. Like, that's it. Because that's the kind of impact you wanna put out, right? So that feeling is like that.
Top end,
It's that euphoric feeling that I get when I get my dream clients. So it's really good.
Yeah. And how do you deal with a lot of people, like negative comments, or a lot of people, there'll always people that have something to say.
I don't get negative comments, to be honest with you. And even if I do, like, I don't have time for those. It's okay. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I have chosen to, keep my profile public. Everyone's not going to like me. That's fine. I don't like them. That's fine. I'm going to focus on the good stuff, and I'm always going to be, grateful for it. It's fine. It's okay.
It's like YOLO. It's like, I know the path that I'm in, and you guys just coming around for the journey.
No problem. Once in a while, I upload one sassy TikTok. But that's it. But that I'm like, if the shoe fits.
It fits, yeah.
Exactly. But no, I honestly don't get too much negative. But even if I do.
Let it go.
Yeah.
And how important do you think that, a mental health or a mental motivation makes a difference when you have, somewhere you do feel the responsibility or the thing that, okay, there's so many people that, let's say, not directly but indirectly look forward or dependent on you in a way, for example, some people are going to be like, oh, I'll see, like you said, some people will see the post and be like, okay, I have to go. So do you feel upset if you're not able to post for a few days, or is it like...
So I've had moments like that because, if
work gets in the way or something?
no, it's just that, like, for instance, let's say I uploaded something that's really, really sad, because you know what, I'm so used to uploading everything, and in the moment I uploaded something that's really, really sad, and then I'll get messages like, oh my god, what happened? We hate seeing you sad. And I'm like, am I not allowed to be sad? Like, I'm human.
Can I be real?
Can I just please? But then they're coming from a place of concern, and they're like, oh my god, Nikki, like, we love seeing your singing stories, can you please go back to that? It's not a switch. So but I know they're saying it from a place of love, but
Correct.
And then I think for me the bigger sense of responsibility is, let's say, you've been the reason why, let's say, 10 people have joined the gym and been on a path or whatever it is, and let's be honest, I can go off track because I love my food and stuff like that. So then people almost think that, oh, if she's eating, I can eat.
I can also eat.
And I'm like,
don't do that.
So, from that sense, there is that sense of responsibility as well, which I may, forget sometimes because I'm in my own life.
Of course, yeah.
But then again, like, switch comes back and like, no, you can't do it. And obviously, like, my trainer also reminds me that, Nikki, like, is this really something that you want to put out? Like, do you really think that this is the right message? And then I'm like, you know what, you're right. Because it is a responsibility, anything that you put out, right? If you are on a public platform, you need to be a little cautious and but I don't take it as pressure or anything like that. But sometimes I'm like, guys, I'm sad. Let me be sad.
I have to do what I have to do.
And then I'll delete it. And after, if I get 2-3 very dynamic messages, I'm like, okay, theek hai, chalo. We'll keep our sadness to ourselves today. We'll go and cry to my sister or whatever it is, and like we'll move on with life. Theek hai, chalo, whatever it is.
And family plays a very important role in any person's support system. How has that been for you? How has family been supportive with everything?
I love my family. Love you guys. And my family is extremely supportive. My family is so supportive, and I'm so grateful for that. So when I come to my own immediate family, like, my mom is probably one of the biggest supports that I have when it comes to my business. She has been a silent supporter from when I started at home. I have used her house as a go down. I have used her house as a meeting room, as a shoot location, whatever it is, no questions asked. There are packages being packed till 6 in the morning. There are 10-20 people sitting in her house. It doesn't matter. Like, so my mom's been super supportive. My dad is the reason why I have this entrepreneurial gene in me. I've seen him run his business, and I feel like I feel like I owe so much of that ability or that confidence that I can do it to him, because I've seen him do it since I'm a child. My sister is perhaps my backbone, my confidant. She's my everything. I don't post anything without her approval.
Oh wow, okay. She needs to approve it first.
She needs to approve it. She's supported me with work, my personal life, my page, every single thing. And my brother is my most amazing silent, cheerleader. Nice. Every time, like, he's so, he lives away, but he'll send me like a couple of hearts, or he'll be like, oh, Nikki, good collaboration. And like, I'm like, this is so we did a recent, automotive collaboration, and I'm going to be honest, I don't know much about the automotive industry, like, I'm not into that. And my brother messages me from China. He's like, Nikki, I saw that. Good job, and I'm like, that's it. Approval. That's it. Like, job that's done. It, job done. And even my extended family, like my uncles and aunts, they're always so proud of me. They always encourage me, they always support me. They always, pat my back. And it really, really, it makes a difference, when you have a circle that celebrates you and celebrates your wins. My uncles, my aunts, like, they're such a blessing. I am very, very lucky when it comes to my close friends and my family. Very lucky.
That's amazing.
Very lucky.
Good. At what point did you decide to be like, I want to have my own PR company? How did that come across? And very interesting name, by Nikki.
By Nikki.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I think I knew I was going to run my own business. To be honest with you, first I thought I'm going to have my own newspaper Okay, because
yeah.
I love talking. So I was like, oh, I'll open. This is 11th grade brain talking. Then I thought I'll open a bakery because I was obsessed with desserts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But again, 11th grade brain.
Yeah.
But I still remember my third year in university. It's my first vision board that I've made, and I still have a picture of it on my Facebook. And I was always someone who loved communication, right? Not necessarily PR, but like I love communication.
Yeah.
I love dealing with people. That's who I am. Everyone calls me that extrovert, you know, it's in my DNA, right? So and then seeing my dad run his business from the very get-go, I knew that I have to do something of my own, and I loved communications. How I started the business is not something that was as structured as it may seem. It just happened because of, you know, different things and certain, you know, restrictions, because of which I just had to file in the papers and register the company.
Right.
But it wasn't a thought out plan or anything like that, actually. Yeah, it wasn't, you know. At the back of my head, perhaps it was like, yeah, Nikki has to start her own company, but would it be in 2018 and will it be called by Nikki? No,
that just happened.
That happened because tax came in picture, and I had to register myself in order to get the taxation, you know, done. You know, exactly. Yeah. You know, done. Legally and stuff like that. Follow all the rules. My point is.
Correct.
And because of which I'm like, okay, chalo, we have to start the company, so let's start the company. Exactly. And then I called it By Niggy because I also always knew that my name has to be in my company.
That is something.
If Dolce Gabbana can have it, if Louis Vuitton can have it,
I need to have my
if
name.
Anastasia Beverly Hills can have it, I'm gonna have it. Okay? That's my way of saying it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then like I don't know. I just called it By Nikki, and like
so, like, you know, the logic behind that is so simple, but it's so creative. Like when I see it By Nikki, I'm like, wow. Yeah. I don't have the courage to do that, but like it's amazing to be able to do that.
I'm not gonna lie. Initially, it was a bit hard because it's like what do you I don't get it. Like, you know, usually people are like communication, like, oh, something communications, you know, like exactly, like, oh, like something like that, you know. But I was like, no, I need my name, and like, and at that time I wasn't even having a vision that, oh my God, I'm gonna have like a couple of people in my team. Where are they gonna say they're gonna work? Like, I don't know what it is, you know. But another thing is that you know, at least the way I started it, or the base of when I started it, all of it was done by me. You know, like I was the only employee, I was the only,
everything
you know, I was a solopreneur.
Yeah.
And not just that, a lot of it did come in because of the relations and stuff. I mean, there are no 2 points to say. I love my team. They make the most of things happen.
100%.
You know, my team makes By Niggy and stuff like that. But now, by God's grace, with each new client, people are a bit familiar. Yeah, exactly. You know,
that's amazing.
Will I ever change the name in the future? I don't know. I don't know.
I think it's built a brand by its own self as well. So
that's the hope, and you know, and that's the hope.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much for spending so much time with us, sharing all of your stories. A lot of younger girls are watching you. They want to be like you. You know, they're copying everything that you're doing, from, you know, being real on Instagram to dancing to singing to everything else. What's your message to them? Like, and what would you tell them? Because they're all looking forward to you. They're like, you know, Nikki did this, I'm going to do that. What's your message to them?
My only message to you, whether you're 16 or 60, is to do what your heart says. Follow your passion and just go for it. You probably will never feel ready, but that's when you know you're ready. So just go for it. Okay, follow your heart, follow your passion, and keep going.
That's really good. That's amazing.
That's the truth of life.
That's the truth. Thank you so much again for spending so much time with us and having us over here. Absolute pleasure.
Pleasure's mine. Thank you.
Already?